Hey guys, so today I'm doing a book unhaul, and you might have noticed kind of a theme going on with the last few videos that I've put up. I've just been going through my book collection and kind of weeding out, I've decided the books I need to read, the ones I need to reread, and these are all the books at this point that I want to get rid of. Obviously there will be more to come once I've read and reread some of the books on my shelf that I need to do that with, but these are the ones that I know for sure that I don't really want to own, and I would rather give them a better home that will enjoy them more than I have. So the first few are the little black classics that I really haven't loved. The first one is The Steel Flea by Nikolay Leskov. This is a Russian short story that it just didn't wow me. It was like a 3-star read for me, so getting rid of that one. There is The Wife of Bath by Geoffrey Chaucer. This is one of the Canterbury Tales, and the whole thing's basically a long poem, and it's just not something that I know that I will reread or anything like that. It was kind of a fun read, but one that I don't really want to keep. Then I've got Trimalchio's Feast by Petronius. This one is kind of a parody and just not something that I really got. And then I have Jason and Medea by Apollonius of Rhodes. This one is a Greek epic tale, and I'm just not into like classical history. It's just not for me, so getting rid of that one. Then I have some regular Penguin classics. The first one is How Language Works by David Crystal. I bought this a long time ago on a whim. I just thought it might be interesting. It's basically a book on linguistics, so I think if linguistics was something you were interested in, you would like this book, but for me it's just too detailed. I don't really care that much about how language is formed and things like that, so I'm getting rid of this one. Then I have a couple of Roald Dahl books. This one is Tales of the Unexpected. This is a collection of Roald Dahl's adult short stories, and I just decided I really don't like Roald Dahl's adult fiction. These stories did nothing for me. I didn't really enjoy them. And then I have Boy by Roald Dahl, and this is a collection of stories from his own childhood, so it's kind of autobiographical. It's intended obviously for an adult audience as well, and again I just would rather stick to things like Matilda and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Then the last one I have is The Classical World by Robin Lane Fox. This is basically a whole history of like ancient Greece and Rome. It's a very brief overview of all of classical history basically, and it's just not something that I particularly have an interest in. I bought it in high school when I was doing classical studies, but I just am not interested and I'm never going to finish this, so I'm going to get rid of it. Next I have a book by John Steinbeck. This is The Wayward Bus. I bought this before I had read much Steinbeck. I'd read Of Mice and Men and I really enjoyed that one, so I thought, oh yeah, I'll grab this. But I hated this book. It was so boring, and then I read others of his works like The Grapes of Wrath, and there's just nothing that I really enjoy about his writing. I do like Of Mice and Men, but this one, no. Next I have The Bridges of Madison County by Robert James Waller. This one I bought because it was on the Rory Gilmore book list. It was on one of them, and this is just not for me. It is a romance about a middle-aged woman, and it's just not something that I ever am going to read again. This one is Buried Prey by John Sanford. This one is about a girl who goes missing, and then like years and years later the case comes back up again and they think they can solve it. I really enjoyed reading. I love reading books like this, but they're just something that I'm never going to read again. A similar one is Warning Signs by Stephen White. This was really, really good. This was about a psychologist who kind of gets wrapped up in this whole thing that's going on where there's someone who is bombing places and there's a teenage kid who is very troubled and all this stuff going on, but again it's not something that I will ever reread, so I'm going to pass this one on. Next I have a copy of The Invasion by K.A. Applegate. This is the first of the Animorphs books. The reason I'm getting rid of this one is because it is different to all of the other Animorphs books that I have. It's like a slightly different edition which is larger, and it always annoys me when you have a series of books and one of them is bigger than the rest of them, and this one was a lot taller than the others, and I just found the regular smaller edition of this in a secondhand bookstore for 50 cents the other day, so I grabbed it and thought I'll get rid of this one. Someone else can enjoy it. Next I have The Vegas Diaries by Holly Madison. This is her second autobiography, and I read her first one from the library, so I don't own that one. This one I only bought because it was really cheap, and I know that in a lot of bookstores at the moment it's still $25-30 in New Zealand, that is, and I got it for a lot less. I think it was $5 or something in a sale. So I picked it up because I wanted to read it because I liked her first one a lot, and I knew it would be one that might take me a while to get my hands on at the library because it's still relatively new. I did really enjoy it. It was like a 3-star read for me, but I know you know, having read her first one as well, they're not books that I'm going to want to reread, but I'm glad that I did read it. So this one I am actually giving to a friend because I know she wanted to read it as well. Next I have The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. I read this recently and I just really didn't enjoy it. It was like a 2-star read for me, not something that I was a huge fan of, so I'm going to give this away as well, just because I know that I didn't like it enough to want to own it and have it on my shelf, and I'm not going to reread it ever, so I just rather give it to someone else who might enjoy it more than I did. Then I have this one, which I know will be like scandalous for some of you guys who love it, but it's Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Again, this one was just okay for me. I enjoyed it, but it's not something that really stuck with me or something that I'm going to want to read again in the future. The final book, which is also going to one of my friends, is Fierce by Kelly Osbourne. This is Kelly Osbourne's autobiography. I picked this up a long time ago when I was younger. I think again it was like cheap, and it was when I was away on holiday somewhere, I think, and I just wanted something to read, so I grabbed this. And it was good. I enjoyed reading about Kelly Osbourne's life, but she's not someone that I'm like a huge fan of. Like, I don't really follow her, whatever she's doing nowadays, I don't even know, but she's not someone that I'm like super obsessed with or anything, so I don't really want to keep this book, but I did enjoy reading it. It was interesting hearing about her life growing up with you know, Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne. So I love the cover though, it's so beautiful with that like pink foil on the front. It's so pretty, and she's just a really like attractive looking woman. So yeah, I like the cover, but I don't need to keep this because I'm not going to reread it. So yeah, those are all of the books that I am unhauling. I apologize if some of them are your favorites, but I have my reasons. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys with another video in a couple of days. Thanks for watching. Bye.